Ashley Tisdale is setting the record straight about one of her most iconic roles. The actress, who played Sharpay Evans in Disney's High School Musical series, recently spoke about a long-standing misconception fans have about the character. According to Tisdale, Sharpay wasn't actually the popular girl in the movies, and she has a good reason why. In a recent interview, Tisdale explained that although many viewers saw Sharpay as the typical queen bee, that image doesn't hold up when you look closely at the character's storyline and interactions. She pointed out that Sharpay didn't have many friends outside of her twin brother Ryan, and that her main focus was always on performing, not on social climbing. Tisdale said, "I think people assumed Sharpay was the popular girl because she was fashionable, confident, and loud. But if you watch the movies, you'll notice she doesn't really have a big group of friends. She's often on her own, or with Ryan, working on her next performance." She added that Sharpay's true motivation was her passion for theater and performing, not for being liked. Unlike other characters who spent their time with classmates or at school events, Sharpay was usually rehearsing, planning auditions, or competing for the spotlight. This focus made her stand out, but also kept her somewhat isolated from the rest of her peers. Tisdale also discussed how Sharpay was misunderstood by many fans. While she was often seen as the antagonist of the story, Tisdale believes that Sharpay was just ambitious and determined, traits that are often seen differently in female characters compared to male ones. "If a guy was that confident and driven, people might call him a leader," she said. But because Sharpay was a girl who knew what she wanted, she got labeled as the villain. The actress said she feels a lot of love for the character, even though Sharpay received criticism during the original run of the films. Over the years, the character has been re-evaluated by fans and critics, with many people now seeing Sharpay as a more complex and even empowering figure. Tisdale noted that Sharpay's bold personality, strong opinions, and fierce ambition were all things that she now appreciates even more. She said she's proud of how the character has stood the test of time, especially as audiences revisit the films with fresh eyes. The conversation around Sharpay has grown, particularly online, where fans have created countless videos and posts arguing that she wasn't the villain at all, just someone who was confident in her abilities and willing to fight for what she loved. Tisdale has seen many of those discussions and finds them interesting. "I think it's really cool that people are starting to understand her a little better," she said. "She worked hard and wanted to succeed. That's not a bad thing." In reflecting on her time as Sharpay, Tisdale also talked about how the role helped shape her as a performer. Playing someone who was unapologetically herself taught Tisdale the value of self-expression and confidence, traits she has carried into her career. She acknowledged that Sharpay was a big part of her early fame and said she's grateful for everything the role brought her. "It was such a fun character to play. She was dramatic, she had style, and she had big dreams. I loved every minute of it." Tisdale's comments have sparked new interest in the High School Musical franchise and its characters. Fans have taken to social media to share their favorite Sharpay moments and talk about how their views on the character have changed over time. As for whether Sharpay was popular or not, Tisdale made it clear, popularity was never Sharpay's goal. She was focused on her craft, determined to succeed, and confident in who she was. And that, in itself, might be the most admirable trait of all.